And this topic is, is based on leadership. And I truly believe that, that this person is literally the true definition of a leadership. Like when I first met her, I just knew she was a servant leader. She always inspired me in so many different ways. And, I feel like being a leader is about, equipping others with the right tools and the right strategies to, not only maximize the organization of success, but also to impact other people's lives. And I feel like she was doing exactly that. She was always like impacting other people's lives. She was always developing other people's, helping other people reach their full potential. And she is just a servant leader, and it's just crazy because every single day she didn't only see me grow up, but I've seen her just blast off like a rocket. Like she just blasted off, and she's doing so amazing. She's impacting so many people's lives, and it just makes me so happy. She inspires me all the freaking time. But yeah, with that being said, go ahead and drop Chairman 10 in the chat, because she has chairman written all over her body. Mandi, if you can hear me, go ahead and take the stage.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Everybody's good?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Guys, drop some P6s in the chat for Vanity, okay? This girl is so ready for success at 18. If someone had put this opportunity in front of me, I do not think that I would have been acting or walking or talking the way that she is. So keep just dropping P6s. That was the first time I actually put her in front of anybody to speak. And guys, I have known Vanity since she was 12 years old. Can you believe that? 12 years old. I watched this little girl not know how to do a cartwheel and taught her how to do a backflip, right? And that's the amazing thing about this business, is that I have the ability, I have the amazing responsibility to help her learn about things that I didn't know about at her age, okay? That I didn't know about and that I wish I knew about, okay? Give me 1 second. My girl, Nikki, texts me. Okay, Nikki, if I start cutting out like real bad, you gotta let me know. Guys, this P2K budget ain't doing it. I gotta get some better Wi-Fi, I guess. Okay, so for those of you guys that don't know, today's topic is leadership, and I am so blessed, thankful, grateful to have Chairman 25, Alysha Lavere, on this call. Okay, literally, guys, this is someone that I have looked up to since the moment I got started. The moment I heard her speak, I was like, wow, like that is the epitome of a leader. And she's someone that I know all of us really just want to be near. And so I'm excited that she's going to be able to teach you guys about leadership. I honestly already want to step out of the way of greatness, but we're going to go Shaq and Kobe with it. We're going to split it half and half, right? And we're really just going to go for it. But I do want to go back to Vanity and like give it back to her. At 18 years old, hitting P150 in your first month, on your way to P6, being a servant leader, really leading by example, and taking a risk on herself. Not a lot of kids at 18 years old, or women at 18 years old, are thinking about their future, right? I don't know about you guys, but I was just thinking about where the next party was at. Like I was just thinking about where the next function was at. But this girl is like, yo, like I want to run a business. I want to build a business. And so I'm really blessed and grateful to have coached her as a kid and be able to mentor her as an adult. I took her to the I took her to the I Am Women's event. I want to call it the Life by Design Ladies event. And it was just so impactful for me to see Alysha speak, for her to see Leanne speak, for her to see all these power players, power women speak. So for those of you guys that are on this call, you don't know me, my name is Mandi Rose. I'm 25 years old. I'm 25 years young, and I'm a Leo. Okay, if you can't tell already, right? I got a lot of energy. And guys, my journey is pretty crazy. Like I went from being in a leadership position in high school, being a captain in sports, really always trying to be, the president or captain or lead of something, to being a coach. And when I was coaching, what I learned is that the best leaders are the best followers. And I decided to start coaching so that I could make an impact in other people's lives, into children's lives. And I loved it, but it didn't pay the bills. And so I was going to school, I was making music, and I decided that I wanted to chase my dream of music. And I took a risk on myself, and I started working in radio. And I ended up winning a competition where I was the opening act for like 17,000 people before Cardi B, J. Cole, Ray Shrimmer, G-Eazy, you name it. I was singing before them, and it was something that really like shifted my paradigm and made me realize like you can do anything. I'm telling every single person on this call, you can do anything that you want. Okay. I got a bachelor's in business marketing, and I walked around for years not knowing who I was or who I was going to be or what I wanted out of life. But what I did know is that I wasn't going to quit. I knew that every single day I had to lead myself. See, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I actually, LBD concert, I'm weak. I actually lost my father in my sophomore year, or my sophomore year of college. And it was the hardest loss that I had ever taken. And Vanity actually watched me endure all of it because I was coaching her, and I would go to work and coach these kids during this difficult time in my life. And I had to suck it up. I had to suck it up, and I had to be there to lead them. Right. And every single day we have to kind of wake up and suck it up because we're all going through something. Type a 1 in the chat if you're going through something. Type a 1 in the chat if you're experiencing something that is difficult. Type a 1 in the chat if you feel like your days are difficult. Right. That's all of us. That's called being a human. Right. And life, it doesn't stop. And it was crazy because when I lost my dad, everybody was just going about their days, and then life was just continuing on. And I was in this daze, right? When you lose someone that close to you, you stop and you're in this like this weird world where everything's moving and you're not. And I had to get myself out of that, and I had to lead myself because my dad used to be the one that I always followed, right? And so I got my bachelor's, and I didn't know what I was going to do, and I started working in radio, and then I went back to school and I got my master's, and I still didn't know what I was going to do. So if you are in that position, if you're in school or you're in life just not knowing what your path is, that's okay. It's okay. You're going to learn along the way. And hopefully this call teaches you some things that are going to help you become a better leader. And guys, we're at 180 on this call, and we have a chairman 25 coming to speak after me. I'm going to be real with you. It needs to be at 2. So I'm going to need everybody to go ahead and send this link to a couple more people because Alysha's about to come on here and body it. I'm just warming it up for her. Okay. I'm just the opening act right now. All right. So let's make sure we still got people in the waiting room, but let's make sure we're pushing this link out. So fast forward to today, I've been able to be a mentor, and that's such a big responsibility. It's such a big responsibility, but it's such a rewarding one. It's such an amazing thing to be able to unlock other people's potential and allow them to become better. If you guys haven't been on the calls for the last 2 days, I got to see Cody embody a call on Monday, and he just got started. Right. I got to see Vanity right now open up a call. Right. And even though the service was a little bit shaky, she killed it. I got to see Alyssa take us all through a visualization process where she really brought us to a place yesterday. And I called her and I was like, yo, I don't know if you've given yourself some credit today, but that was amazing. And you are amazing. And I get to be the reason that I unlock other people's potential. And for the next 14 days, you guys are going to see so much potential being shown in front of you, right? Because we're doing this every single day until the 14th. So I want you guys to know on this call, right, that leaders are people that can honestly come in and change people's lives. And these are a couple things that my dad taught me, not just about leadership, but about life, and have allowed me to lead the way I do. Okay. So the first thing, and I'm going to run through them, is life is beautiful, right? And the reason it's beautiful is because every single day we get a chance to be something different. Right? Tomorrow you get a chance to get on another one of these calls, or you can go and Netflix and chill. You get the chance to, work on your goals or sit around and just hope and wish. Right? And the other thing that he taught me that really has allowed me to be a leader that can retain my team is that every single person that you meet is fighting a battle that you know nothing about. Absolutely nothing. And so when you're upset or you're worried about someone's auto ship being on, instead you need to take yourself back and put yourself in an empathy, apathetic position where you can see what other people are going through and you can be kind enough to help them. Right? So solutions, right? This is another thing. Solutions never hurt a situation, right? When you are in a situation where things aren't going right, I want you guys to start asking yourself, how can I help this situation? How can I help my team if they're struggling with this thing? Instead of dwelling on the problems. And oftentimes, a lot of people are dwelling on problems, and that's the reason nothing gets done, right? So leadership is building up people's strengths, right? And telling them what they're good at so that they can get better, instead of telling them what they're bad at, right? Because I could have called Alyssa or Cody and told them what I thought they didn't do right over these last 2 days, which honestly, it was amazing. I don't even know what I would have said. Or I could call them up and tell them all the things that they did amazing, So as a leader, I want you to really, really understand that everything rises and falls on leadership. But the way that you can rise, right, as a leader is by lifting others. This is a push-pull business. I pull you up, you push me forward. I pull you up, you push me forward. So dwelling on the problems within this business, because there will be problems, is pointless, right? Kiani always says, it is what it is. And so like, I really live by that. I'm like, it is what it is. But as a leader, you're setting the tone, you're setting the standard, you're setting the pace. So I want every single person on this call to be intentional, to treat this like a business. If you treat this like a business, it will genuinely pay you like one. And if you start to act like a leader, people will see you as one. But you gotta really do some soul searching in how you can become the best version of you before you can become the best version for other people. But leadership can be learned. Okay. And this is a terrible, like the Photoshop here is terrible, but that's not the point, right? That's not what we're here for. I've learned that leadership can be learned. This is me and Vanity when she was 12. Taught her to be a leader. Look at her now. This is me and Leanne and me and Cruiser and me and Jason at some of the events. I watch these people teach me to be a leader on a daily basis, and I learn something every single day. Doesn't matter if I've been on hundreds of calls with Leanne. Doesn't matter if I've been on hundreds of launch calls with Cruiser. I can still learn something from them every single day. Every single day. And then you see there's a picture of Karen. Karen really came into my business and like kind of woke me up where I was like, oh shoot, someone's depending on me. Like I got to actually learn that. Right. And Karen came into my business. She was the third person that came into my business. She is the person that got me to P150. And she was the first person in my business to smash P1K. And she taught me a lot about leadership because I wanted to become better for Karen. How many of you guys feel like because you have a team, it makes you better? Type a 1 in the chat. Your team makes you better, right? Because it's easy for me to cheat on a workout if I'm by myself. But if someone's next to me, it's hard, right? And Karen really taught me that. Karen taught me more than she realizes. She always says, like, I taught her all these things. I'm like, no, homegirl, you taught me. You really did. You taught me how to lead by example. Like you taught me how to kind of stay one step ahead because you had so many questions. You taught me how to care about you and your account before I cared about mine, right? I used to call Karen in the middle of the night and I'd be like, Karen, I know it's 2 a.m., but we're up like $600 and I need you to move your stop loss right now. And she used to appreciate that because we had that relationship where it really was a partnership. And so some of the things that helped me learn to lead amongst the experience guys were these 4 books. Okay, Developing the Leader Within You. Shout out to John. He sent this book to me and I listened to it on Audible. I'm not going to lie to you, John. I did not read it, but I did listen to it, right? The Power of Positive Leadership. I actually read this when I was a coach because I had a conversation with my kids and they told me that I was a little too tough on them. I'm sure Vanity remembers this. I said, what do you guys want me to be better at? And they said, you're kind of tough. You're kind of strict. And so one day I tried to be nicer to them and they all took advantage of me. And so instead I continued to be strict and I continued to be stuff, but I was a positive leader, right? Another one is How to Win and Influence People, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I like the 2.0 version that he has in the digital age. That one's fire. And then the last one, guys, is Think Big, Act Small, which is my motto in my business. I'm never above you. You're never below me. You're always beside me. And sometimes I'm under your organization and you don't even realize it. So I want every single person on this call to realize that even if you don't feel like a leader right now, you got to lead yourself every single day. And so you can get there, right, by taking the necessary steps to grow. So as a leader, what are some things that we really want to make sure we are doing correctly? Number 1 is awareness, guys. The greatest agent for change is awareness, is being able to say, you know what, I could have done that better. Or you know what, I have to work on that. And it's something that I used to struggle with a lot. Why? Because I had an ego. And when you have an ego, you really can't get anywhere, especially in this business. You have to be self-aware. And so when I was doing things wrong, I would ask Leanne to correct me on them. I want you guys to text your mentors and say, I want you to correct me on things that I need to fix. I want you to call me out when I'm slacking. And Leanne did that for me. And I really appreciate her, guys, because honestly, leaders need to be close enough to relate to others, but they need to be far enough away to motivate them. And that's what Leanne, Cruiser, Kiani, John, that's what they did for me, is they were close enough to relate to me, but they were farther away that I was like motivated to catch up to them. And that's something that you really need to be able to be aware of is am I being aware of the situation right now? right? The next thing is listening and learning, constantly becoming more valuable. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to be 100% transparent on this call. I was freaking out before this call. And the reason I was is because I do calls all the time and I always want to bring something different. And I don't want people who have been on my calls all the time, because some of you are new. You've never heard me speak. This is like, wow. Others of you are like, I heard this on our last training, right? And so I try to bring something new every single time by becoming more valuable. By becoming more valuable for other people. And that's, once again, going back to Karen, what Karen did for me is she allowed me to become valuable. Okay. And the last thing, right, is trust. Trust is huge. Leadership is about integrity. It's about honesty. If you have someone that is just, I'm sorry, like a POS, and those of you guys that know what it stands for knows what it stands for, it's not, you're not going to want to follow them. If you have someone that's not doing anything, do as I say, not as I do, you don't want to follow them. You have to have trust within your business. Now, how do you maintain trust? You show up when you say you're going to show up. You are honest when someone asks you something. You don't just fluff things, right? If Alyssa, if Courtney, if someone asks me, Mandi, could I have done that better? And they could have, I'm going to tell them. If anybody in my organization says, Mandi, could I have improved? I'm going to tell them. But also you have to hold yourself accountable. These are all components of trust. One time I showed up late to an event, ask Karen, ask Nikki. Oh my God, thank God for Nikki, right? Nikki was at the event before me. How am I going to show up late to my own event? That's not accountability. That's a lack in leadership. And that allows my team not to trust me the next time I tell them to get on time to an event. I got to be the first one there, the last one to leave. And I learned a lesson that day and I felt like crap, right? But leadership it's a choice, guys. It's not a rank. It's not a rank. You could be a P150 and be a way better leader than a freaking chairman. I'm going to be real with you. Leadership is a choice. Everybody type choice in the chat. It is a choice. So if you are choosing today to be a leader, just make the choice. Just make the choice. That's all you got to do, right? So let us all that are on this call be the leaders we wish we had. The reason that I was able to take Vanity's team when I was coaching her to championships is because I was the coach I wish I had. So ask yourself, what kind of person, what kind of leader do you want in your business? If you want a leader that's constantly promoting events, guess what you got to do? You got to constantly be promoting events. If you want a leader that's going to be at all the events, you got to be at all the events. So ask yourself, are you willing to do what you're telling your team to do? Because I don't tell my team to get on calls and then not get on calls. You have to inspire people and motivate them through your discipline. This is the hardest thing. And I spelled discipline wrong, but we're going to keep it pushing, right? You don't got to be smart to trade, right? So make sure that you are inspiring people, right, through discipline. And I'm going to be real with you guys. I put all this together this morning. I was supposed to go tomorrow, but that's okay. We're going to keep it pushing. So constantly consume ways, guys, for yourself to improve, for your team, right? And for yourself. But your business is only going to go as far as you go, as valuable as you are. John says this all the time. We don't get paid by the rank. We get paid by how valuable we become. But the biggest leadership challenge, guys, is self-discipline. You think I wanted to go to 6 years of school after high school? Fuck no, I did not. But I was disciplined. Discipline took me to places where motivation couldn't. I had no motivation when I lost my dad. I had no motivation when I lost certain people in my life. I lost my best friend at one point in my life. It was the toughest challenge to lose so many important people. I had no motivation to keep going, right? At one point in my life, I was like struggling with like cystic acne. I had no motivation to go outside the house, let alone go to school. But I was disciplined. I gave myself no option. And this is the toughest leadership challenge. It's easy for me to get on this call and tell you guys, do your DMOs, do your IPAs, closes the laptop, goes and eats a cheeseburger, doesn't do anything I said. You need to be the person that forces yourself to do something. But I'm going to be real with you guys on this call. Some of you guys on this call are wondering, well, why isn't my team growing? Why isn't my team plugging in? Why isn't my team doing the things that I'm doing if I'm setting the example? Because they're not disciplined. And there is nothing that you can do for an undisciplined person to make them succeed except support them and be there for them and be kind to them. Have any of you guys ever had someone join your business and then leave like within a week and not tell you anything? Isn't that the weirdest thing? Can't even have a conversation. Have any of you guys ever had someone come into your business and say, this is what I want and this is what I need, and then doesn't do anything? They're just not disciplined yet. And so you got to take little baby steps with those people, and you got to work with those people still, right? The closest thing that I can compare leadership to, guys, is parenting, right? I really can compare it a little bit to parenting. It's like you have all these, Nikki at one point, Karen at one point, right? Cody at one point, Alyssa, Eric, they were all my babies, my little babies, right? And then I teach them a couple things and they start to learn to crawl, but I still got to watch them and I still got to help them, right? Cruiser and Leanne at one point was like nurturing me until they saw that I could start walking. And then they taught me how to run. And then I started sprinting on my own. And so I want you guys that are on this call to start nurturing people and really figuring out what is it that they need. But also, guys, just realize that leaders, they're not born, they're made. And every single one of you guys right now, if you feel like, well, I'm not as confident as her, or I'm not, as much as this as her or him or whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can still make yourself into that leader that you want to be. How many of you guys never thought you'd be in this opportunity and have seen growth in yourself in the last 6 months to a year, right? And you're here like, how did I end up here? like literally, how did I end up here? Right? There are some people that are going to do calls this week and they're hitting me up like, Mandi, what is going on? Why am I doing this? Right? But leaders, they're not just something that you just are born with. They're made. And just like anything else, guys, it's through hard work. I hate to break it to you, but you got to do the work. And when you have a goal that's so much bigger than yours, you just got to stay solution focused, guys. Like, this is something I tell my team all the time. Leaders think about and talk about solutions. Followers talk about and think about problems. You ever had someone that's like sitting with you and like, yeah, but we just did it, and just negative. And I'm like, okay, but what are we going to do about it? The word leaders has the word lead. And you got to be the one that says what time we're meeting and when we're meeting and what we're doing. You got to simplify things. You got to cut through the problems. You got to get rid of arguments and debates and doubt and offer solutions that everybody can somewhat understand. And it's not easy. And you can't fix it all. But you got to realize that this is more than just a rank. This is a responsibility. Right? And on the left, I wrote the nice way that I would say something to people. And on the right, I wrote the real way that I would talk. See, right now we got 250, almost 250 people on the call. I could be real, right? When I'm talking to my team, there's like 30 people on the call. I'm not trying to yell at nobody, trying to keep the retention high, not trying to get nobody upset, right? But right now, we're talking to everybody. So I'm going to be honest. Number one is be dependable. Fire your mentor. Fire them when you're able to. Don't fire them too soon. Okay. Now, don't come in. You haven't even been here in a week and you're like, you're fired. No, you need to allow yourself to go through 3 stages, right? I want you guys to write this down. Cody did fire me. I want you to write this down. And I got that from Jungle Jess, right? Shout out to her. There's 3 stages to mastery. The first one is being, right? You're dependent. You're dependent on someone. And that's okay. You come in, we're nurturing your dependent. The next stage is being independent. This is where you should want to get in your first 30 to 90 days, independency, right? And then you become dependable. Karen, Cody, Eric, Alyssa, Nikki, Florence, all of the people that are going to speak on this call, Courtney, right? They're dependable. They're dependable. I could tell them, can you launch this person? Can you get this person started? Can you walk this person through this? Can you make this person a flyer? And they can do it. In fact, you know what's crazy? You know what's the best feeling as a mentor? When they do it without asking you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Acts of service, my new love language in this business. It's amazing, right? And you really got to get people to that. So you got to get to a point where you fire your mentor. It gets sad. I'm not going to lie. I want to be talking to Karen all the time. I want to be talking to Nikki all the time, but they don't need me like they used to. Now I got to go nurture my new babies, right? Next thing is become a problem solver, right? And here's the mean way me and Leanne like to say, like, just figure it out. So I'm going to be honest. And I've said this on a call too. Like, people come to me with questions and they ask me a question and I'm like, I'll get you the answer. No clue how I'm going to get it. No clue, but I'm going to figure it out. Okay. The third thing is you create action in your business, right? Because there's a difference between being, active and actually creating action. You got to help other people get to their goals. You got to help people hit ranks. You got to get people to invite their list. You got to get people to launch their business. You got to teach someone something and tell them to go teach someone something. That's what a leader does. You create action in your business, constant movement. You got to get people to the events, right? You got to get people to check in with their leaders. There's like a leadership line of command. You got to get serious and you got to be consistent and stop making excuses, right? And you have to have a huge vision and develop a beautiful obsession with this business. You got to develop a beautiful obsession with this business, right? And the next thing is don't give up, guys. Quitters really never win. And I never gave up in school, even though I wanted to a million times. I used to cry about math. I'm so dumb, right? I hated math, but I never gave up. I literally paid someone to take my math course. I'm not going to lie to you, right? And then you got to run with the runners, I'm running. I'd rather run with runners than freaking drag the people that are dragging me down. Okay. So the word leadership, I broke it down into words, and I'm not going to like, I just want you to write this down, right? So the L stands for love, right? My dad always used to tell me, lead with love. Lead with love, not just leading people, but he would tell me, like, when I would be in an argument with someone at school, or when a girl didn't like me, right? Or when I was having problems with someone in my life, he would tell me, just start the conversation with love. Lead with love. Okay. And so when you're reaching out to that person that's been ignoring you for weeks and months or whatever, just lead with love. Hey man, I was worried about you. I know you have big goals. I know you have big dreams, and I want to help you. I just wanted to check in with you. How can I help you? How are you? Not how's your auto ship? How are you? Right? The next thing is experiences. Leaders create experiences. They get people to events, right? They bring people to different ways that people can feel, right? They get them on Zoom calls. How many people you have from your team on this call right now is a reflection of you, okay? Right? The third thing, A, is action. Leaders create action. Leaders are disciplined. Leaders set expectations, right? That's a hard thing I didn't realize in the beginning. I had to set expectations for people. This is, obviously I'd rather you set a high goal and barely miss it than set a low goal and not make it, right? But I had to set an expectation. Karen, you're going P1000, right? Couple months. Look at what you did, right? I told Nikki the other day on the phone, yo, you're going P1000, couple days, couple weeks. Done. Easy. Results. Leaders help people get results. Leaders help people develop skills, right? The 7 skills of network marketing is a huge thing that I try to help my team with, right? Launching, getting people started. Leaders have humility. That's a big thing. Leaders inspire, and leaders are passionate. I'm so passionate about what I'm talking to you guys about right now. Like, I can't even explain it to you because this is such an important part of this business, right? So if your actions inspire others to dream, to do more, to learn more, to be more, you're a leader. Even if you don't have a team, you are a leader, okay? But you have to try your best to really, really go out there and help somebody else get what they want so that you can get what you want. That's what a leader is. That is what a leader is. I want you guys to really boss up and be that leader that you want. Get involved, get serious, get shit done. Get shit done. Claim it, right? Put in the work, consistently grow, inspire other people to grow. Like, shout out to Cruiser and Leanne, because they literally gave me the formula to success. And I can't give you guys the formula to success on this call because we don't got enough time. But what I can do is give you guys the formula for failure. The formula for failure is you trying to please everybody. You can't. You got to ask yourself, when I was brand new, what did I need? Ask questions, find solutions, give people the next step. If you say something, mean it, mean it. Your word is your bond. My dad used to tell me that your word is your bond. And a true leader is able to really have confidence to stand alone. They have courage, right? To make tough decisions that nobody else wants to make. They have compassion for people. That's what a leader is. And you really got to go out and just discipline yourself. That's the vehicle that's going to get you to where you want to go, honestly. It's just disciplining yourself. The quicker that you understand that and stop working with people that aren't disciplining themselves, that are wearing you out, it doesn't mean you're going to leave them on an island, but it means run with the runners. Leadership is not a license to do less, guys. It's a responsibility to do more. And some of you guys are looking to get to chairman 10 so you could put up your feet and not do anything, but you're going to have to do more. Alysha Lavere, is not a part of my organization, but she's on this call today to help me do more without any benefit to her. Okay. So without further ado, like I said, I really wanted to get out of the way of greatness earlier, but I am going to get out of the way of greatness now. Okay. Can everybody drop some C50s in the chat for this woman? Because she is the epitome of a leader, of a powerful woman, of someone that goes out and inspires other people to be more and do more, right? And I'm so, so blessed and thankful to have the ability to even go before her, right? Let alone to learn from her. And I'm about to take notes. If you guys have not been taking notes, take some notes, right? Because the information you're about to get right now, I've been wanting to listen to this woman on a call for weeks, right? For months, right? So without further ado, Alysha, if you can unmute yourself, if you're on this call, go ahead and take it away. The floor is yours.
Wow. First, Mandy. First of all, everyone please drop some M's in the chat for Mandy, because that was fire. So much information, like so much. I was over here taking notes on my phone, like over here, right? That was just great. I loved your training. I loved learning more about you as well. So guys, wow. Those PowerPoints as well. That PowerPoint was on point. She had cropped photos of her and her friend. I loved it. I loved everything about it. Mandy, let's drop some C10s in the chat for Mandy. Some C10s in the chat for Mandy, because she's a powerhouse. Like, she's a powerhouse. Hands down, hands down. All right. Well, thank you for inviting me on this call, Mandy. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited to sit here and be real with you guys. So if I could spotlight my camera.
You're pinned.
Am I pinned? Okay, I'm pinned. I'm good to go. Cool. Making sure. Okay. So, guys, first of all, I would love to connect with you, and you know that we love to document things. So go ahead and, if you haven't tagged Mandi Rose, her Instagram yet, and posted her on your story, that's something we do on our team. All of us, we should be documenting every call. People want to be a part of this kind of thing. This is really cool, right? We have 220 people on this call celebrating each other, learning positivity. It's lit, right? My Instagram, I'll drop it in the chat. It's Alysha.Lavere. My new last name. I'll tell you guys that story another time. But no, I'm not married. Yes, Alysha Lavere. That's my Instagram. If you can tag me, I'll go ahead and connect with you. I love connecting with people, especially, Mandy's team, Kiani's team. Yeah, you guys are just amazing. Your team is just absolutely incredible. So anyone, feel free to connect with me on Instagram, tag me, show love. I'll repost you and help you network as well. All right, let's get into it. Because Mandy just gave you guys a lot of sauce on leadership, right? A lot of sauce on leadership. And really, I'm going to tell you what I've experienced all the way up to Chairman 25, and just the genuine stories, the growth that I've had, right? Because I feel every single one of you guys in this call is a leader, right? You're a leader. You're leading yourself. You're maybe leading your family members, certain friends. You guys are all leaders on this call. You're all going to have opportunity to lead someone. Truly, this call is about you, okay? And really what you can get from this and how you can develop, because every single one of you has potential and will, be a chairman leader if you stay in long enough, right? If you're consistent enough. And I want to see that happen for every single one of you, right? And I love having your cameras on too. So those of you who have your cameras on, hello, beautiful faces I see. Karen, yep, Lewis, Kyla, Brittany, Trinity. Look at all you guys. Love the bucket hat. Love the bucket hat down there. Okay. So, guys, I wrote up a short training, and it's what I break down what a leader is. Okay. It's the acronym. It's really fun. L.E.A.D.E.R. You guys know how to spell leader. If you're taking notes, just write that down long ways on your paper. We're going to talk about it. Short story, guys, just for those of you who don't know me, I started this company almost 3 years ago, straight out of college, went hard with it, lots and lots of ups and downs. I hit Chairman 10. I was the first female to hit Chairman 10 out of 30,000 people. And it was amazing, right? I went through lots of ups and downs, but pushed through. And then Chairman 25 about a year later, and now pushing to Chairman 50, and also binary options trader is lit. For those of you who are trading, oh man, I was securing the bag. Let's talk about it. We've been securing the bag. If you've been on the sessions, like, I know you guys are making money. So there's just so much money to be made. But anyways, I was a student athlete before. I was a previous athlete. Right now, I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm pursuing my dream of acting, being a world famous actress and entertainer. And that's just what I love. So anyways, guys, let's talk about leadership, okay? Just what everything means, right? L, what I believe the L stands for in leadership is love. Love, right? Love. So you have to lead with love. You genuinely have to love your team. You have to love what we're doing, right? There cannot be any room for hate. There shouldn't be any room for hate, because hate comes from the dark side. the devil, right? The devil. We don't want that around us. We want only God's presence around us. We don't have any room for hatred. So love, lead with love. Do what's best for your team because you actually care about them and their well-being, right? I've seen teams where people are leading out of greed. People are leading out of ego. People are telling people on their team what to do out of ego, right? And that's not right. It always should be about your team. It always should be about the people. Okay. So whenever you start thinking too much of yourself, remember the love should go outward. Okay. The love should be put on your team. The love needs to be shown to your team all the time. And also let them know that you love them. Don't have to say I love. I see some guys in the call. Hey man, I love you. I know you just joined 7 days ago. Not like that. All right. Not like that. But just be like, just show love. Show love on their pictures. Show love on their social media. Text them, say, I appreciate you. People, you'd be surprised how many people in their regular daily lives don't have people show love to them. For real. This community is very special. Okay. Now, E. E stands for expect no credit. Expect not to get the credit. That's a big one. What's crazy? I came up with this like 10 minutes ago, and it's probably going to be one of my favorite trainings now. Okay. Expect no credit, right? So here's the thing. We're going back to the ego thing. Okay. There's a lot of ego that's involved when leaders say, my team did this. My team. Me. It's like some leaders I've seen have this issue where they feel like they need to take credit for everything their team is doing. No. Look, with our team, I say, we did it. This is us. I'm never one to say, oh, I need the credit for this guy ranking up because I helped him so much. No, man, that was you, right? I was there, I was there for you, of course, but that doesn't need to be said to the world. Okay, I don't expect the credit because it can really damage you if you feel like you need to take credit for everything you do. And I've even seen times where, for example, let's say I was Mandi's upline, right? And she built a whole team in like South Africa. And then one day I get on stage and I'm like, yeah, and I have this team in South Africa and it's just so huge and amazing. And I don't even give her the credit for it. Just because she built something in my organization doesn't mean it was me, right? I need to give credit where credit is due. That will hurt some people if you try to take the credit away from them. So always give the credit away. Okay. You're a credit giver. Okay. Credit card, give them your credit card, let them swipe it. That's all you got to do. Give it to them, let them swipe. Don't expect the credit for anything. In fact, don't even take the credit for anything. The more credit you give back to your team, the more they'll actually feel good and actually develop as leaders faster. Okay. A stands for adaptable. You have to be adaptable as a leader. You have to adapt to all kinds of situations. I get like, when I was in middle school, people used to tell me that I was fake. Okay. People used to say, Alysha's so fake. She's so different around everyone. And for a while, I thought I had something wrong with me. I was like, is it wrong that I'm different around certain friends? Is it wrong that I'm quiet around my quiet friends and I'm not overly obnoxious around them? Or is it weird that I'm really crazy and excited around my outgoing friends and I'm not so quiet? Like, why is it that I change? And it's because it's called a rapport. It's called you're mirroring the people that you're interacting with so that you can make them feel a certain comfort level. And it's actually a very highly paid skill set. It's a very great skill set to have, and people need it. People need to do that more. And what I realized since middle school is like, yeah, people who are consistently just on one note and don't know how to adapt to anything don't really get that far. The people don't pick up on social cues and they can't really act accordingly. It's just they don't know how to communicate with people from from Detroit versus Washington versus California or Atlanta or Texas, like, or even in China, you know, you got to learn. So adaptable, like adapt to the people on your team, adapt to, you know, there's, you know, you learn how to work with all kinds of people. Okay. Learn how to work with all different kinds of people. Also adapt to situations without being overly stressed out. Adapt to situations. This is a big one in our specific platform. Because I'll tell you guys, how many of you guys have been kicked out of a venue or an Airbnb or a house or an apartment complex? Please type a yes in the chat. If you have been booted out of some sort of venue, please. There's got, if you haven't been kicked out of a venue yet, you haven't gotten to that level. You will. Anyone got their Airbnb account suspended yet? Anyone? That's next level, right? That's next level. Look, adaptability without being stressed. Like there's a time where it was like my second time ever flying to Europe, had this big team over there, and they were counting on me to be at this event. They had promoted for months, packed it out, and guess what happened? I missed my connecting flight. I was stuck in some country, no idea how, I didn't know how to pronounce it. And I was probably platinum, almost 5,000 in the company, right? And I was freaking out. I remember running around the airport sweating, like, what? I can't miss this. I can't miss this event. I was arguing with the, you know, the plane people who was taking care of problems and stuff. I was freaking out, right? And I called my mentor. And at the time, it was Emery, and Mr. Banks, Chairman 250. But he just said, dude, breathe. It's fine. This kind of stuff happens all the time. You can't control it. You got to adapt. You got to figure out how you going to fix this. Like, what are you going to do to make up for it? And as a Platinum 2000, I was like, whoo, wow, you know, dang, what do I do? But I had to think, you know, adapt to the situation. I called the leader, said, yo, I know I couldn't make it to the event, but we're going to throw an exclusive private training for the whole team, an all-nighter, like all-nighter. And it's going to be crazy. And we're going to pack out an opportunity call the next day to make up for me not speaking. And it went well. You know, it went well. We adapt. So don't be stressed out when things don't go how you're supposed to, because I see you guys, and some of you guys are perfectionists. Oh, yeah, you. See, Trinity goes, nah. I know some of you guys are perfectionists, and I know you're going to stress out when the venue gets closed down. I know you're going to stress out when you get kicked out of an Airbnb, but it's okay. It happens. It probably happened for a reason, you know, a really great reason. And it's testing your leadership skills. D, direct. D stands for direct. Okay, direct. So D is meaning that you need to be direct when you're solving problems. You need to be a direct problem solver. You need to be a direct communicator. And you need to know what direction you're going, right? You need to know what direction you're going. So there's lots of different kinds of direct that we need to be as leaders. With that being said, direct communication, you need to tell your team the direct team goal, like what you guys are going for, where you're headed, right? Tell them what direction, first of all, you guys are headed all the time, because people are being led and they want to know that they're being led somewhere, the right destination, not just being led. What are you leading me to? What are you leading me to, right? So make sure they know where they're headed. Next thing, direct communication. So give them the direct communication they deserve. You know, it's like, give them a plan of action, give them solutions, give them direct communication. No beating around the bush, no drama, no he say, she say, all that stuff is definitely not allowed with direct communication, right? No, none of that. If there's a problem, that goes to direct communication here. Directly solving problems. If there's a problem, go directly to the source. Don't go to the branches, go to the root, okay? Because if you go to the branches, there's a problem. What I mean by that is that if there's a problem in the team, you're not gonna go talk to 5 other people in the team about the problem. You're gonna go to the problem and talk to the problem, okay? You get what I mean, okay? So like, for example, if I heard something had gone up in my team I wouldn't waste any energy talking to anyone else about it, but I would confront the person and say, hey, I did hear this. I did hear this information. It came to me. I came directly to you. I wanted to actually ask you about it and sort it out, between you and I. That's just really all it takes, right? Because at the end of the day, we're working with people, and you just have to learn how to work with people the best way possible. You need to learn how to work with people, all different kinds of people, and keep your emotions level. E stands for evolving. Evolving. Wow, there's so many levels to evolving in this industry. It's crazy. Like, you're going to look at yourself when you're chairman 10, you won't even remember like what was going on in your head at a platinum 1000 level. Now at chairman 25, it's like, whoa, it's like a whole different energy dimension shift for me now, where I'm at the moment. And it's all good, but you have to make sure you're constantly evolving and you're constantly growing. You're constantly reading, you're constantly learning, you're constantly listening to your team, you're listening to your mentors, you're listening to your competitors. We'll get into that. But constantly evolving, okay? If you stop growing, your team stops growing, right? If you stop growing, your team stops growing. So make sure we're growing, okay? The last one, the R in leader, stands for responsible. Responsible, okay? Responsible, as in, can your team count on you? If you say you're going to host a call at this time, can I count on you? Are you responsible enough to withhold that agreement that you had with your team? Responsible means, showing up to things on time. Are you responsible enough to show up to an event on time? What if Mandi was just super irresponsible? She put out the flyers, she did all that. She's like, she took a nap, didn't wake up, whatever. And she was irresponsible. Do you know how many people would have been affected by that? Like 220 people would have not been able to come together on this call and receive this information, So responsible, just being very responsible, which is being accountable. People can count on you, right? So that's what that means, guys, to be a leader. That's my definition of what I've learned over the course of 3 years of being a leader in this industry. And I mean, Mandi had a lot of great information. Everything she said, I agree with and more, but that is just that simple, in simple terms, what I would consider a leader. So now here's one thing I want to talk about is leaders. This is what some people think leaders are. Now, some people think leaders are the ones that are always screaming on the Zoom calls in front of 200 people. That might be right. Okay. We have our time to scream in front of 200 people, but the majority of the time, a good leader is listening. Good leaders listen more than they speak, actually. For real. Yeah, I'm preaching because I've earned that from putting in the work to get the results. I've earned the platform to be able to share this value with you. But besides me sharing this value I have, I'm listening to, who am I listening to? Number one, I'm listening to my team. Okay, number one, what should you be listening for, right? Who are you listening to? One, you're listening to your team. It's kind of like a company. Like, think about if you're a business owner for a clothing store, right? People are going to come in your store, they're going to try on your clothes, you're going to buy your stuff. And if you never listen to what your customers have to say, then you're never going to be able to make certain changes for your store to become world-class, because you don't even care to know how they feel about your clothes, right? But if you ask for feedback and you're like, do you like the material? Do you like the colors? What should I add this? The people will tell you what is going to be best for them or the community, right? And you can just continue to improve your group and your team and your leadership style as you go. So listen to your team, right? Great leaders listen to their mentors. Look, I know people are gonna say, I won't do this. If I had tea right now, it'd look like this, sipping on my tea. But guys, Leaders listen to their mentors. And when you get to like a platinum 1000 level, this is where I see it the most. Platinum 1000 is when you stop really listening to your mentor. The person who got you to platinum 1000 or helped you get there, you stop listening to your mentor. And that's really stupid. I'll tell you why. Not only because you're no longer learning from them, but you will damage the relationship between you and your mentor if you stop listening to them. Because that shows your lack of respect for them. And you don't want to get on your mentor's bad side, because what can mentors do? They can help you with a lot of things, right? It's just not a smart thing to do. You want to keep that relationship. You want to show. I would always look, Cash to Great. Cash to Great is I would say one of my closest uplines, sort of. But he's like my brother, Chairman 100, Cash to Great. And there was a point in time where I didn't get on his calls, right? I thought I heard it all from him because I feel like I had, right? I was like, I heard everything this man has to say. If I get on his call, it's the same thing, whatever. I stopped getting on his calls, but he started to notice. He's like, hey, sis, you weren't on my call. And I was like, oh, sorry, bro. Like I had this other thing, blah, blah, blah. But I could tell, I could feel that over time, he started to become like kind of sad and kind of salty at me because I was kind of taking him for granted, And it's not that I wanted to make him feel that way. It's just that I thought I heard everything he had to say, but it damaged our relationship a little bit. I could feel it. So I then kind of understood what was going on and I adjusted. And then since that time, even today, I make sure I'm at every single call he hosts, right? Every call he hosts, I'm like, I'm on there, Cash. I'm supporting him. My upline, I'm posting him. If he has like a music video that drops or a song that drops, I'm reposting that. I'm commenting on his pics. Like I'm always showing love and listening to my mentors. To one, you always learn from them because they're always growing, right? Your mentor is usually always growing, so you can learn. Two, to create that healthy relationship so you can become their favorite and they can help you even more. No, but for real, Mandi likes you. She's gonna probably place some people on your team. That's just facts, right? I'm not saying be a teacher's pet, but be a mentor pet. So don't be, you know what I mean? Like really, for real. All right, leaders also listen to their competitors. They listen to their competitors. And I wouldn't say that we're competitors. What I mean by that is just like teams within this company and even other network marketing companies. So it could be like you guys learning from another organization, just like picking up on some things that they might do that you might want to add. And I mean, that comes with like Mandi's position, as you get up higher in the ranks, you're going to be in that leadership role to where you're more observant of other strategies and able to implement. So that does come a little later. I would say if you're brand new, don't really do that now, yet. If you just joined last week, don't go to another team and be like, hey, I think this works better. You should probably like be in this for a while before you have that, objection. But anyways, you should be aware of what's going on around you and how you can learn from them, right? What are they doing good that we're not? How can I be better? So listen in between the lines, right? Listen in between the lines. And what that means is as a leader, you should be out in the field as well. Thanks for the nice comments in the chat box. I'm seeing all of them. Love y'all. So listening between the lines is really just getting in the field. So, going to that home event, maybe if you're a Platinum 2000, going to that home event and just being in the trenches with a few people all night, whatever you got to do, just being kind of like making sure you're in the trenches. It's like, I heard this story about, I think it was the owner of Walmart. Pretty sure it was like the owner or CEO of Walmart. He would always dress up and go into random Walmart stores and just like have a customer experience, talk to the customers, see how managers and all of them were operating. Like he wanted to be in the field. He was like a janitor one time, just mopping floors and stuff, playing these different characters, but he wanted to be in the field to experience it. Like, what is it like to be at Walmart as a customer or as a janitor or as a manager? He wanted to know. And he actually was able to learn and how to improve from there too. It also kept him humble, kept him involved. So listening between the lines and being out in the field. So guys, that's really my training. I like to keep things short and simple. But I would say my biggest advice, leading wise, is first, before you can lead anyone, you have to lead yourself. So do you like yourself as a leader of yourself? Matrix. Do you like yourself as a leader of yourself? What's that one dramatic dramatic sound off of TikTok right now? You know, do you like, yeah, right? And if you don't like yourself as a leader of yourself, why not? So in order to be the best leader of people, you got to lead yourself first. So it all starts with us. It all starts with you. And I had to be very honest with myself right in the beginning. I asked myself the same question, and I figured out, I don't like myself as a leader because I do choose to go out and party rather than deal with certain responsibilities. I wish I wouldn't lead myself in that direction sometimes. And then I had to change that habit, and I started to like myself more and more as a leader. And I said, okay, wow, I can lead myself very well. I can also now lead people, right? I can also now lead people. So guys, that's all I have for tonight. I appreciate your time. I'm actually going to go link up with my bro, Cash the Great, Sharon 100 right now to mastermind and stuff. But I appreciate you, Mandy. Shout out to every single one of you on this call, like sending good energy and love your way and prayers, right? I want to pray to God. Thank God for tonight that you guys are all alive. You guys are all here. You guys are all, you know, blessed, and you all have abundance coming your way, and there's no spirit of negativity is allowed near you. Okay, we rebuke the spirit of fear, the spirit of low self-esteem, low self-confidence. You guys are all God's children, and you're protected, and you are meant for greatness. So thank you guys, and have a great night.
Jeez. Guys, do me a favor, keep going crazy in the chats. Keep going crazy in the chats. We are only on day 3 of our rush. Day 3. We still got Kai Christopher tomorrow. We got Elias Montilla on Sunday. We got John Guam, and we got so many huge speakers, guys. So thank you guys for jumping on, right? Thank you guys for being a part of this. We are really excited. Here are our Instagrams. Make sure you guys follow us. Let's go. We'll be back tomorrow. We got Eric and Kai Christopher tomorrow. Let's go. Shout out to Alysha. Everybody follow Alysha on Instagram. Follow Alysha on Instagram. Tag her in a post. Come back tomorrow. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate every single person on this call. I will put this recording on YouTube. Let's get it. Portland about to go up. That's a fact. I don't want to get off either. I want Alysha to come back. Appreciate y'all. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Make sure to show some love on IG. And make sure you guys become the best leaders. See you guys soon. God bless you. Peace.